not interested. The song goes like this.
Hey, I'm Peter Franson from christiangeekcentral.com and Spirit Blade Productions. Welcome to Trial and Error, where I play the first part of a game or game demo, usually do that pretty badly, and give you my thoughts along the way. This time I'm taking a look at Far Cry 5. Now, I have really kind of in the last few years become a fan, kind of discovered the Far Cry games for the first time and really grown to enjoy them. I wasn't sure if I would be able to make my way through them at first because I tend to be terrible at games that require quick thinking, reflexes, and hand-eye coordination, but I was able, at least on, if there were easy difficulties, I think there were, on whatever the lowest difficulty is on these games, was able to make it through Far Cry 2, 3, and 4, with only a few spots that became frustrating. Now, I love the basic gameplay of these games. In fact, they've become among my favorite games of all time, I think, in recent years. I mean, I really, really enjoy this gameplay. What I don't like are some of the constraints on missions that Far Cry games have had in the past that I feel like a lot of reviewers don't comment on, like timed missions. I hate timed missions, or stealth insta-fail missions. If you get spotted, then you fail the whole mission and stuff like that. I would rather the game react to me and just kind of like adapt to my choices or my failures or whatever, instead of just having these lame insta-fail conditions. Likewise, in some missions in Far Cry 3 and 4, if you move too far out of the mission zone, quote unquote, then you would lose the mission. It would like fail you out of the mission. And I'm like, no, I've got this great sniper rifle. I want to be able to shoot from outside of the mission zone. Let me just do this the way I want to do it. In recent Ubisoft games, however, I've noticed some more freedom and fewer kind of annoying constraints, both in Ghost Recon Wildlands and Assassin's Creed Origins. I feel like there were fewer timed missions, and when there were timed missions, they were pretty generous to me. And I just felt more freedom in general to kind of make my way through this game the way I wanted to do it. And so I'm hopeful that that will be the case here, but I'm not sure. I've also heard that this game is fairly difficult, at least on the normal settings, but if there's an easy setting, you better believe I'm going to use that instead. So I'm hopeful. I'm really super curious about the religious themes in this game. Ubisoft kind of has a thing where they like to take some form of Christianity and twist it and usually make it the villain or something like that. That was the case in Ghost Recon Wildlands. It's certainly been the case in the history of much of the Assassin's Creed games, and we see it again, what looks like again like a cult based on some trappings of Christianity here in Far Cry 5. So I've been very curious to see not only the cult itself, but the alternative to the cult, which is represented in, I guess, in a priest or a preacher character. I want to see what their version of good Christianity is that counters the bad cult version of Christianity. So anyway, lots of things I'm really curious about in this game. Let's get to it. There we go. Easy. Oh, jeez. Where's my health? Crap. Jeez, Louise. Jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh! Where? My gosh, where? Oh, jeez, what? Right. I've saved your life. You belong to me now. Oh, jeez, there's a bunch of them. Nice. That was cool. One thing that has really made me just kind of fall in love with Ubisoft games in the last year or so is how good they are at creating worlds. And I'm very auditorily oriented, so I also really appreciate all the Foley work that goes into their games. That really takes me into the experience. And you put it in first person, and I'm like, there. Oh, hey.
Do something.
Okay.
Please. Seriously. Thank you.
No problem. That's what heroes are for.
Seriously. Thank you.
Hey, seriously, you're welcome. So I'm getting an introduction to the cult, the Eden's Gate cult in the game. And so far, it's very vague in terms of what their beliefs are. That's what I would really be interested in, is what are their specific beliefs, what are the origins of those beliefs. That said, I mean, I don't care a ton about the story. In fact, I hardly care at all about stories in games. It's the gameplay that allows me to create my own story that I'm most interested in. Okay, well, let's go liberate an outpost. Oh, music's changing. Trouble. What are the controls in this game again? Oh, hey. Yeah, love that aim assist. Oh, I'm having fun.
Seriously, thank you. Hey, man.
Wait, didn't I talk to you seriously before?
We are all sinners. Every one of us. You, me. Even the Father knows deeply of sin. It's a poison that clouds our minds. What if I told you you could be free from sin? What if I told you that everything you ever dreamed could come true? What if I told you that everything could be overcome if you embraced an idea? That freedom from sin can come from the power of just one word. Yes, I am a sinner. Yes, I wish to be unburdened. Yes, I must be redeemed. If you're watching this, know that you have been selected. You will be cleansed. You will confess your sins, and you will be offered atonement. Don't worry. You don't have to do anything. We'll come for you. Welcome to Eden's Gate.
Gosh, that was an interesting little taste of the cult. Kind of a commercial that they created, I guess. The aesthetic vibe of the cult members themselves has kind of like a backwoods, kind of hickish kind of vibe to it, and yet that commercial had music in the background and wording that reminded me of a health, wealth, prosperity type movement. Like what you might see from Joel Osteen or someone like that. This very power of positive thinking and having your best life right now and that kind of stuff. Parallels to like actual Christian doctrine would include the idea that we are all sinful. We're in need of some kind of cleansing, some kind of fixing. That's a very unpopular idea right there. So it doesn't surprise me that that would be a key element of like the bad guys of this story, because you know it's not a pleasant thought to realize that, gosh, I have some deep-rooted problems and I need fixing, I need cleansing or something. Also in parallel to Christian doctrine is the idea that to gain this cleansing, we don't need to do anything. We just need to trust that Jesus is capable of cleansing us, he's willing to cleanse us, and that he will if we just, welcome that. He forgives us and will one day make us perfect. Not in this life, we can begin that process of what's called sanctification now, but that will be completed after this life. And that's where it seems to differ, the kind of like, it sounds like it's kind of menacing when they say, you don't have to do anything, we'll come for you. And that, I wonder if that's inspired by more of like a political fear almost among maybe some non-Christians who are under the impression that Christians would like to take control of the government and start impinging on people's freedoms, And maybe there are some Christians that think that's the way to go and want to influence legislation and stuff like that in ways that they shouldn't. But the Bible doesn't call for a theocracy, so that's not something that non-Christians should fear or that Christians should pursue for the rest of the world. Jesus will take care of ushering in a theocracy when he comes. We don't have to we don't have to do that for him. Hey, can I have that? Can I have that? Hey, can I seriously have that? No? Alright. Oh, there's a bad guy. Hey. Are you bad? It seems like you might be bad. Should I blow you up? Okay, I'll blow you up later. Oh, that's a bear! Hey, bear. Ah, gotcha, bear. Good gravy. Oops. Holy cannoli, where am I going? Whoa! Excuse me. Ooh, sorry. Oh, bear! Good job, people! Ooh, gotcha! Excuse me! Excuse me. Oh, civilian, sorry! Sorry! Oh, hey, okay. Oh, jeez! Where's the plane, dang it? There it is. Whoa! Got it! They're both hurting now. Revive! We can do it! There's music! Yeah! That's fun. What? Really? I have to have PlayStation Plus to play people's maps online? That was not the case with Far Cry 4. Are you seriously gonna do that this time? That's lame. Alright, let's go to church. See the pastor. Now, can I shoot good guys? Oh! Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Are we cool? Is there forgiveness for this? No? Okay. You should probably just kill me then. Is he okay? He's gonna be okay, right? No, he's dead. How about you and me? Are we okay?
This cult's darkness can only be banished with light. I don't know your beliefs, Deputy. So whether you call it a soul, spirit, chi, aura, mentality, or inner strength, there is a light inside of everybody. The more good we do, the more it illuminates the world around us.
Well, he's very forgiving. Or maybe he's just mostly forgetting. Okay, can I shoot you? What happens? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I will totally revive you. It's okay, dude. We good? We good? What do you think? We're okay? Yeah, I think we're good. Okay.
There's no limit to how many ways people can be separated and called different. Skin tone, beliefs, education, shape, orientation, status. There's no limit. But look at the resistance. When we cry, our tears are the same. When we laugh, it sounds the same. Our hearts are constructed the same. The followers of Eden's Gate have forgotten that. This isn't my first time in a war zone. I was a pawn in an oil war. I know what it's like to see the lives of innocent people cut short by others who don't value human life. The dust will settle here. We'll have to reckon with the fact that this brand of acceptable mass violence does not happen in other advanced countries. If you're looking for a Bible quote for inspiration on how to deal with Eden's Gate, Ezekiel 9:10. So I will not look on them with pity or spare them, but I will bring down on their own heads what they have done.
Yeah, the problem with that is that what he's forgetting, which a lot of Christians miss, even Christian pastors sometimes, is that books of the Bible were written in specific genres with a specific purpose at a specific time for specific people. And so just taking a quote from somewhere in the Bible and then saying, okay, this is my mission in life, is it's totally inappropriate and dangerous. First, you have to understand the context. Then you can try to make some kind of application to your own situation based on any parallels that exist.
God's glory can be seen in the resistance. It's that unity, strength, and love across all races and all faiths that shows us that evil can be overcome if we work together. Eden's Gate wants to separate us. See how they kidnap people? It's because there are more of us than there are of them.
Yeah, so I take it that, like, this guy, he's a good guy, and so the writers want to represent him as, like, a good guy, and he's also a Christian, so my guess is he is intended to be what the writers think a good Christian should be like. And it also says something about the virtues that are prioritized by the writer or writers of this game, because this character is the mouthpiece of what is good and right. So that's why I think it's worthwhile to go to characters like these and see what they're going to say, because it gives some potential insight into the worldview of the writer in a more clear way than you might get that from other things going on in the game. And he's talking about a lot of, like, social issues. You know, this idea of we need to see each other despite our differences as unified. And he almost kind of glosses over, like, you know, no matter what faith we come from, blah, 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 and then, you know, this is what unites us, da, 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 you know. And while unity amidst diversity is a noble virtue, the way that he's emphasizing it here says to me this is kind of like a pet virtue, probably, of the writers of the game, which isn't surprising to me at all, because at the beginning of all the Assassin's Creed games, they make it really clear. They give you often a black screen with text that says, you know, this game was created by people of multiple beliefs, sexual orientations, ethnicities, you know, all this kind of stuff. So that seems to be like a prioritized virtue at Ubisoft, and I think that's coming through a bit in what the preacher is kind of tending to talk about. Again, that's a good thing to have unity and equality, but I don't think it's representative of Christianity to put that so much at the front to the neglect of a number of other things.
Matthew chapter 24. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many.
That's an interesting quotation. He doesn't give any commentary for it on how he's applying it. I mean, for one thing, in the events of this game, nation is not rising against nation, as it says in Matthew 24:7. So again, context is important, and how he's intending to apply that verse is a little bit of a mystery to me.
Nobody's path is a straight line. We all stumble. If things go wrong, it's just life's way of saying that the time is now to change course. Ask yourself, what can this moment teach me? If I really learn from it, I don't stumble the same way again.
So see, he's speaking, he doesn't read to me like what my experience of Christian pastors is. Now maybe he's changing his language and making it more vague, saying, you know, that's, if something happens, such and such happens in life, that's life's way of da-da-da-da-da, as opposed to saying that may be God trying to get your attention. That may be the Holy Spirit doing something, da-da-da, you know. So is he possibly making his language more general and vague and non-specific to Christianity because I'm not a Christian? Well, I suppose he could, and I suppose there are some people who might choose to go that route, but I think if your job as a pastor and you're representing Christ, then you shouldn't apologize for expressing kind of where you're coming from, what your worldview is, and just telling people, hey, if this is what happens, da-da-da-da, it may or may not be God doing something in your life, you know. Instead of just being general and say, maybe life's way might be the universe trying to get your, you know, whatever.
Hatred and violence towards people because of their beliefs, regardless of where it comes from, is a betrayal of what's best inside each and every one of us. Remember, the violence we are taking part in is needed. It's also temporary.
It's interesting, he says that hatred toward those with different beliefs is a betrayal of what? Of what's best inside each of us. But really, the greatest betrayal that we are committing when we hate people who have different beliefs from us is a betrayal against God, who loves them more than anyone in the world loves them, who treasures them and values them, who made them not to be hated, but to be loved and honored. We're flying in the face of the honor God intends for each individual person to have. Anyway, interesting kind of interacting with this character and seeing what he has to say. In some ways, the kinds of things that he says surprise me a little bit because they are kind of is watered down in terms of their doctrinal content, considering that we're talking to a Christian pastor here. On the other hand, there are some denominations that really do water down doctrine, and they de-emphasize the Bible, and I think it's to their detriment. And sometimes those denominations will have more formalized dress, as this one, as this guy does. So, in some ways, it may unfortunately be an accurate representation of what, you know, some pastor of some particular denomination might say. I would rather he more authentically represent his own faith as he talks to people. But maybe this character's faith is kind of, you know, watered down and influenced by the culture around him. Or maybe it's just that the writers just plain don't know and understand some of these doctrinal concepts and aren't aware of maybe how a pastor would really talk, you know. I kind of doubt that that a Bible-believing Christian was in charge of writing the script for this game. So, and none of this is a knock on the game or, you know, a point against my enjoyment of it. Just some interesting things to observe. Oh, baddies! Don't hurt me! Oh, hey! Jeez Louiser! So after about the first hour of this game, it just kind of set me loose, and now I'm almost kind of not sure where to go. Alright, well, let's pick a mission and track it. What's up? Oh!
Deputy, it's Pastor Jerome. If you're getting close to Woodson's pig farm, be careful. Cultists will kill the hostages if they lay eyes on you. Gotta attack quietly. It's their best chance at survival.
I really hate missions where you have to keep someone else from dying. I have enough trouble keeping myself from dying. You know what? I want to know what's going to happen if I let the hostages get killed. Is it going to be an instant fail? So let's go in guns blazing and find out. Okay. Mission failed. Oh! So there are insta-fail missions in this game. That sucks! Although, there were insta-fail missions in Ghost Recon Wildlands, and although I haven't quite finished that one, I haven't found any of them to be really frustrating.
Deputy, it's Pastor Jerome. If you're getting close to Woodson's pig farm, be careful.
So we'll give this one another try, and actually try to be stealthy this time. Crap! Nice! Whoa, what is that? Shots fired. What's going on? What is going on? Oh, here they are. Whoa! Oh my gosh! There I go. Alright, that's my first death.
Deputy, it's Pastor Jerome.
Oh!
Getting close to Woodson's pig farm, be careful.
I have to do that again?
You gotta attack quietly.
I liberated it. You said that I liberated it. Why was there no autosave at that point? Well, that was super lame. The thing I hate experiencing in video games more than anything else is failing and then as punishment being forced to replay material I've already played before. Hate it. crap! My gosh! I'm shooting you a lot! What the crap? These hostages are dead. Dang it! Just rub my face in it, loading screen. Take all the time in the world.
Deputy, it's Pastor Jerome.
Shut up, Jerome, I know. I guess I should go get my bow and arrow for this. I wish you would have told me before I got here that I needed a bow and arrow or something quiet. Okay, here we go.
You've done it again.
Yeah! Oh, I'm having so much fun being all sneaky. I don't like games that absolutely require stealth. I like games where being stealthy for as long as you are able gives you an advantage, so you can kind of thin out the ranks as you make your way in, and then if ultimately maybe you get spotted, but can still get through it guns blazing. Uh-oh, culties! Jeez. Oh, holy crap! Oh, dang! Oh my gosh. Oh! Oh, you're kidding! Move, cows, move! Oh my gosh! Dog? I did kill the dog. Real dogs are a lot smarter than that. Capture party incoming? What does that mean? Go! What the crap? What the crap? What the crap? So there's a bullet in this game that can instantly take me out. I do not like the potential applications of that. That sounds like a cheap way they can ramp up difficulty whenever they want to. Come on, guys, no one-hit kill bullets. I mean, right now they used it to knock me out for the purposes of triggering a story sequence, but why wouldn't they use it all the time? Or late in the game when they want to just make it stupidly difficult?
Now it remains to be seen whether you choose to embrace it or to cast it aside.
Can I join the cult? I kind of want to join the cult.
Show them no mercy.
Okay, so Pastor Jerome just there was quoting from the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7. Bit of a rough quote. He left some pretty important contextual information out of there, but he was applying that quote seemingly to kind of justify, or it seemed to go along with his intentions and actions that involved, you know, taking out the cult members and defeating them and stuff like that, you know. The quote from, I'm not sure what translation he was quoting from, sounded a little bit like King James, maybe New King James, I'm not sure, or maybe a paraphrase that the writer came up with. But the actual words from the ESV translation of the Bible, which is pretty direct from the original Hebrew, Deuteronomy chapter 7, he started at about verse 2 maybe. He said, when the Lord your God gives them over to you and you defeat them, then you must devote them to complete destruction. You shall make no covenant with them and show no mercy to them. But starting with verse 1 of that is, when the Lord your God brings you into the land that you are entering to take possession of it, and clears away many nations before you, which I think was in that quote, I can't remember now. The verse goes on to specify the Hittites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations more numerous and mightier than yourselves. And when the Lord your God gives them over to you, and you defeat them, then you must devote them to complete destruction. You shall make no covenant with them, and show no mercy to them. So just in the fact that he left out in his quotation the specific nations, the specific people groups that were in there, it just displays the lack of sensitivity to context. This was a command, this was instruction, this was revelation from God given to a specific people group regarding other specific people groups at a specific time for a specific purpose. It's not something that should be applied to our mentality today. Now, I'm not necessarily bringing into question right now whether or not someone in Pastor Jerome's position would be right to fight against oppressors like this. That's not really the issue at hand. That's a separate discussion and one worth having. But at this moment, this is just another example of this taking passages of the Bible out of context and imprinting on them a meaning or at least an application that was not intended by the original human author or the Holy Spirit, the other author. So, yeah, we can't do that. That's going to lead to all kinds of craziness and dangerous stuff if we treat the Bible that way. There is a bit of a can of worms potentially in there in talking about, was it, because any time there's a reference to God commanding the Israelites to basically drive out and even destroy these other nations, it's like, oh my gosh, what kind of a loving God would do that? That's a can of worms. It's a great topic and it's one worth exploring. This video is not the place for that. I would highly recommend going to reasonablefaith.org and looking at their questions section and just doing a search for Canaanites. Canaanites. I'll put that on the screen so you know the spelling of that. But reasonablefaith.org, go to their questions section and search Canaanites, and Dr. William Lane Craig has done a wonderful job of addressing what is kind of an intense issue to kind of think about. So, anyway, moving on. Oh, come on, where's my auto-aiming, assisting jigger? Does it not work with this weapon? It doesn't work with this weapon or something. I need a different weapon. Oh, I don't want my bow right now. Crap. Oh, there's a little auto assist. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oof. Where? Oh, baddies. Oof. This is intense. Oh! Shooty! Shooty! Oh my gosh, I gotta get out of here. I need a melee weapon or something. I'm out of ammo or something. You guys do the work for me, okay? I'm gonna run away.
I'll call in some of our people. We're gonna need them if we're gonna pull this off.
Okay, but I need to go to the store because I can't just shoot sticks at people. Oh, jeez! Oh, I don't think oh my gosh. I don't know where. That's weird. I thought I could fast travel a second ago. Where can I land? Oh, jeez! Crap. Well, that didn't work out. There we go. Okay. You stay put. That's a nice feature. Very selective Herculean strength. Alright, right now I want to hunt some animals. I want to find some animal to make money out of. Okay, we got an animal here. What's this? Bears! Well, those are deer. Be still and I'll shoot you. Why is that not shooting in the head? There you go. Loot! Oh, bear! Oh my gosh! Why didn't it die? Oh boy! You should be totally dead! I showed you a lot! Oh, my lanta. That was intense. Alright, I feel like I've Played enough of this game to get a sense of it. I've played about 5 hours of it now. Before I forget, I have to say I am not a fan of them locking the user-made player maps behind the PlayStation Plus wall. That was not the case with Far Cry 4. I'm bummed because I don't have PlayStation Plus. I have no reason to have PlayStation Plus because I don't play any games online. And this doesn't involve playing games online, it just involves downloading maps that other people have made from online. Anyway, I'm enjoying the main game. It's scratching all those Far Cry itches that I had scratched, especially in 3 and 4. You know, it's more Far Cry, and that's great. It also has a few negative points too. They still have insta-fail missions. I haven't gotten a sense of whether or not I'm going to be limited to, you know, as far as like I have to be a certain distance away from a mission while I'm actively trying to take it on. I mean, there are probably some annoyances in how missions are structured that I will not be able to discover until much, much deeper into the game. But at least the fact that I'm not seeing them yet may indicate that they're not going to be, you know, any more frequent than they were in previous Far Cry games. I'm interested to learn more about the cult and just kind of like the religious themes that they play with in the game. So far it doesn't seem like they're making any like bold or outlandish statements. It has the same, what seems to be a little bit of a bias against Christianity, or at least an interest in twisting or villainizing certain aspects of Christianity that are unpopular. And that's been going on in Ubisoft games for a long time, so that's not like a big shock or anything like that, or anything that I'm like just all upset about. That's just Ubisoft kind of doing what has become their thing. And yet I think it's still valuable to kind of be aware of what they're doing and how it differs from actual Christian teaching, and how their characters, like Pastor Jerome, are using the Bible in ways that are not helpful and sometimes harmful, that people in the real world can tend to do as well. All that said, it's more Far Cry. I've been so much looking forward to this game, and I'm so glad that I'm enjoying it as much as I thought that I probably would. I am ready to be done recording this so I can stop thinking about making content for YouTube and just focus on getting my work done for the day so I can play more Far Cry. Those are my thoughts for now. I'd love to get yours in the comments below, and of course I'd love for you also to join us over at christiangeekcentral.com as we continue to geek out and seek the truth. Hey, just a reminder that this humble little YouTube channel is so dependent on people just like you. There are 3 main ways you can support this channel, and they're all over at spiritblade.com. The first is to purchase one of our sci-fi or fantasy audio dramas. Second is to give us a donation of any amount. And third, you can become a Spirit Blade insider and get access to exclusive behind-the-scenes monthly goodies. You can get more information on our About page over at spiritblade.com. Thanks so much.